Good afternoon. I'm Divya Bhoi from COEP Technological University, Pune. I'm presenting my research titled Urban Design as a Catalyst for Revitalizing the Riverfront Development. Talking about the introduction, rivers have historically been the foundation of cities by supporting transportation, trade, agriculture, culture, and economic development. However, rapid urbanization has resulted in several problems such as environmental degradation, pollution, fragmented riverfronts, and reduced public accessibility. Today, riverfront development is no longer only about the beautification; it about the creating environmental, sustainable, socially inclusive, and economically vibrant urban spaces. In this context, urban planning establishes policies and development strategies, whereas urban design translate these policies into physical spaces. Uh, talking about the title, it is a process of revitalizing or renewing or improving the urban design of a riverfront development using urban design and planning together as a tool. Then talking about the need and the problem statement. Despite numerous riverfront projects worldwide, many still face a significant challenges that includes the environmental degradation, poor accessibility, fragmented urban fabric, conflicting land use, and weak connection between the rivers and the cities. Most projects focus primarily on the physical development, which often overlook ecological restoration or community participation. Therefore, this research proposes that urban design should function as a planning tool that reconnects cities with their rivers while achieving sustainable riverfront revitalization. The aim of the project is to revitalize the riverfront development using urban design as a catalyst. To achieve the four objectives, such as first one is to understand the urban planning principles, urban design principles, and the riverfront development guideline. Second one is to analyze the key challenges affecting the urban riverfronts. Third one is to develop the planning parameters and urban design strategies. And the last one is to formulate an integrated framework for sustainable riverfront revitalization. Uh, the study follows a qualitative research methodology, which divides into three stages. First one is the conceptualization, which includes defining the research problem, literature review, formulation of research objective. Second one is investigation, which involves the policy guideline reviews along with the national and international case studies. And the third one is analysis and synthesis, where planning parameters and urban planning strategies are extracted and integrated into a comprehensive riverfront revitalization framework. Then, for the literature review, I have studied the urban design principle given by the urban planners and urban designers. So, Kevin Lynch emphasizes the legibility through path, edges, nodes, districts, and landmarks. Then Jen Jacob highlight the mixed land use, active street, and human scale development. Cullen focuses on the visual experience and soundscape. Gale promotes the pedestrian friendly spaces, and Christopher Alexander introduced the pattern language for creating a meaningful spaces. These principles are useful for the riverfront development using the urban design principles. Then talking about the development guidelines, which are given for the high flood line and low flood line of the river, where in blue line zone, which is a prohibited area where only open spaces and ghat construction is allowed. In red line area, low rise structure or promenade structures are allowed, and safe area is permissible for mixed use development. Then, alongside these theories, the guidelines such as UDCPR and Water Resource India recommend ecological conservation, floodplain protection, universal accessibility, blue-green infrastructure, and public realm development. Together, this principle establishes a theoretical foundation for riverfront planning. Then talking about the case studies, the five national and international riverfront projects are analyzed, which includes the Sabarmati Riverfront, which is in Ahmedabad, India, Patna Riverfront, Harishchandra Ghat, Cheonggyecheon Stream, which is in South Korea, and Chicago Riverfront. Each project demonstrates the different planning approach. Sabarmati illustrates the strong connectivity and public realm, creating the highlight and also highlight the ecological consent. Cheonggyecheon demonstrated the ecological restoration integrating with the urban renewal. Patna Riverfront highlights the functional ghats, cultural interference, but lack in the urban design diversity. The comparative analysis indicate that successful riverfront balance ecological restoration, accessibility, public space, heritage conservation, and economic development. Then we comes to the stage 3 analysis and synthesis, the key challenges of riverfront development. uh, they are identified in three major categories. First one is environmental, second one is urban design challenge, and third one is functional and management. In environmental challenges, it includes pollution, floodplain encroachment, declining biodiversity, and climate risks. Second one is urban design, which disconnects riverfront from the city, having fragmented pedestrian network, lack of universal accessibility, and loss of cultural identity. Third one is functional and management challenges, which include the conflicting activity, inadequate public amenities, maintenance issues, and poor adaptability to seasonal flooding. These challenges demonstrate that riverfront development requires integrated planning rather than the isolated design interventions. So to address this issue, a literature synthesis matrix was prepared. This matrix compares multiple research to identify the most frequently adopted planning and urban design parameters. The finding highlights the parameters such as ecological conservation, floodment management, accessibility, resilience, and diversity integration. And similarly, the urban design parameter that includes walkability, public open space, placemaking, heritage conservation, landscape design, and visual connectivity. These parameters can form a basis for future riverfront planning and riverfront revitalization framework. Then talking about the urban design parameters, this research proposes a comprehensive urban design parameters group into five categories. Spatial planning and public realm. Second one is social and cultural integration. Third one is mobility and connectivity. Fourth one is climate adaptation, and the last one is economical development. The parameters for urban design of a riverfront were determined through a historical approach of reviewing literature, studying different riverfronts, and relevant guidelines, which includes tools such as promenade, activity nodes, bioswales, green corridor, universal accessibility, uh, and public gathering spaces that might help to transform planning concept into a practical intervention. Then talking about the urban planning parameter. There are seven urban planning parameters which include land use, mobility, environmental and ecological parameter, socio-economic, infrastructure and services, urban form and built environment, heritage and cultural planning. This parameter provide planner with a comprehensive framework for evaluating existing riverfront condition and preparing sustainable development proposal. Then talking about the riverfront development framework, it is a final outcome of research. Uh, so this framework combines urban planning objective, urban design strategies, and a practical urban design tools. Where framework demonstrate that urban planning defines what should be achieved, and while urban design determine how it can be implemented through people-centered and environmentally responsive special interventions. For example, uh, if we take planning objective related to accessibility, are identified through continue are can be given through continuous promenade, pedestrian pathways, cycle track, universal accessible ramps, where or even ecological conservation is translated into biosoils or rain gardens, riparian plantation. So to conclude, riverfront revitalization should extend beyond beautification, focus on ecological sustainability, accessibility, heritage conservation, and social inclusion. This research demonstrates that integrating urban planning with urban design creates a holistic framework capable for delivering the resilient and sustainable riverfront. The proposed frameworks can serve as a planning guide for a future riverfront development across different contexts. These are the references used for the study, books and the research paper. Thank you.